Hello, strong people. It is week two. Week two, day one of OSG Mid-Atlantic Regional Prep. I was confused how many weeks I've done already because last week felt like it was forever. It's a press day. I have some circus dumbbell to start. Axle strict press after that. I'm going to do that out of the rack today because my bicep is it's fine. It feels fine, but just to be safe, I don't need to clean anything today. So I'm going to move the axle strict press out of the rack, just playing it safe. Because if you saw the last video, I tweaked it a little bit on the front squat. It just rolled a little bit in the front rack position. Just probably me being lazy, not keeping my elbows up. Upper back was probably not tight enough, too loose, not active. And same thing with the core. So it's just really my own fault. Easily avoidable in my opinion. And I will try to avoid it next session. So anyway, pretty happy with, I'm still happy with how Saturday went, but hopefully I'm happy with how today goes as well. I opened up the garage door thinking that I was going to need it open, and I don't. I could probably make it work with dumbbell, but I like to have a little bit more room to press overhead. Because if you don't know, if I press here, I'm going to punch a hole through the garage door, which you don't want. There's room here that I could do, but I like to have a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to dumbbell in case I get off balance, I got to dump it, or got to readjust while under the bell. Ideally, I'd like a bigger platform to do this on, which I will have someday, but that day is not today. So two big things have happened since my last video, which I didn't expect to happen this soon. Either of them, actually. I hit 500 subscribers. I can't say we, because it's us now. I just me could not hit 500 subscribers. Everybody who has subscribed is a part of that, obviously. And I kind of blew past it. I took a screenshot at like 495 and was like, put it on my Instagram and was like, so close. Because I was happy. I'm proud of that. And if I got a couple follows out of it, cool. But really, it was just to be like, I can't believe that I'm even here. Almost 500. And now I'm at like 510 or something over the course of a couple days somehow. Crazy. And I don't even like advertise my YouTube channel all that much. Like, I don't really put it out on there's a link like in my TikTok bio, I think, for it. I think it's on my link tree that I have on Instagram, but like, I don't go out and I'm like, hey, you should check out my YouTube channel, or not even every other week do I say like, oh, check out my YouTube channel or my other posts on TikTok or Instagram. So I don't know, to not even really promote it and to be growing as fast as I am right now, it's crazy. I don't get it. But thank you. Honestly, it's over halfway to 1,000. That's insane. I can't believe that. Yeah. And anyway, the next thing was the OSG online qualifier events are now out. I didn't expect them to come out this early at all. So, almost just dropped you. So I'm pretty happy with that. I had like you can't even see me. I had like 6 people message me and were like, where'd you find that? And I was like, well, I saw someone else post it first. And then I was like, really? Is that OSG? And so I looked at their website and it was on there. And OSG, if you're watching, which I don't know why you would be, their websites are kind of tough to follow. Like, this website looks like it, and there's another website, and only one is updated, so I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping the gun and they shouldn't have been posted yet, but I don't know. Anyway, 4 events. 4 events, which is weird. It's been 3 every year that I've known about it, which isn't that many, but 3 events is typical. 4 events is new. So first one, you can do, I say first one just because it's, there's no specific order in which you do these. 2 rep max log clean and press. Clean each rep. I'm cool with that. Something in the upper 3s. That'd be cool. I know I've done 370 for triples. I don't think I did it clean and press. No, maybe I did. I have to look back. I hit some really big log in prep for the Pro-Am, so I'll have to go back and check to see what I did, see what might be possible. And obviously that was fully prepped, so I don't know if I can anticipate hitting the same number, but maybe get a little bit amped up for the qualifier. Might hit something cool. Max axle deadlift with a suit this time, so I hit 775 at the Pro-Am, and pretty confident I could have had 795 if I wanted it that day. Played it safe, just because of the way my hands are slipping off the straps and usual stupid stuff that I do. But with a suit, I'd like to hit, low eights, mid eights, maybe match that 845 that I hit at regionals a couple weeks back. I was on a deadlift bar though, but I was good for quite a bit more that day. So maybe mid eights is possible in the axle deadlift. I don't know. I'd like to find out though. Then it's a sandbag what they call it, sandbag rounds or something like that. It's a 308-pound sandbag. 308-pound sandbag. You pick it up, run 20 feet with it, drop it, pick it up again, run back the 20 feet, drop it, pick it up again, just repeat that. And then your score is how many rounds of that you complete in the 60 seconds. That's kind of an unknown. I don't even know what would be a good number for that. I have no idea. And the last one is a max weight yoke for 20 feet with no drops. That's gonna be brutal. For 20 feet, max yoke, no drops, you're gonna see people trying like 1,400 pounds or something crazy. The heaviest yoke I've ever seen was 15 something. And that was the bale toe to the Arnolds in like 2017 or something like that. Brian Shaw. Only 2 people, I think, did it with no drops, maybe, like him and Big Z. But that was like 13 feet. So if you're able to do 1,400 pounds or 1,500 pounds for 20 feet, you're an animal. But the thing with that is, that's going to crush you. That's going to be so taxing, carrying that much weight. There's a bug on my leg. That's going to zap the CNS. Just carrying that much weight, having it on your back for 20 feet even. So I'm confident. I'll do over 1,000 pounds. I'm pretty confident. It's also been a little while since I touched a really heavy yoke since the Pro-Am, and that crushed me. So maybe 1,100, 1,200, 20 feet. I just got to make sure I can pick it. That's the biggest thing. Find a good pick height to where it won't touch the ground, because they're going to be strict about that. So find a pick height that's low enough that it won't touch the ground, but high enough to where I can still pick it. So there's some strategy going into this. But I don't know. I also got to figure out when I want to do those, because there are max effort events, and I'm prepping for a show too. So I have a 2-month window, July 1st to August 31st for that. And talking with my coach about when to do it. So I'm already kind of doing like axle's already in my program. The sandbag I have a variation of that in my program. Log is not in my program yet, but it's going to be. And log seems to click for me pretty well usually. Hopefully that stays true. But I don't know. They're good events for me. Sandbag, kind of an unknown. We'll see. I've just been, since they've been announced, I guess I kind of broke the news to a lot of people. I don't know. I've been thinking about it nonstop. I'm pretty amped up about it because this is my first time giving it a go. And I need to stop talking about it right now because I could blabber on about that for the next 15 minutes if I wanted to. But I need to actually get lifting and warmed up. So let's start out with some circus dumbbell. See what happens. All right, well, set one did not go well. Well, it didn't go bad, but my issue, rather than drop the dumbbell and like set it back in position, then clean it, I'm trying to just go shoulder, tap the floor, come back up. And that's brand new to me. I've never done that before. So it's probably not smart if you're going this heavy. What I'm trying to say is I haven't done dumbbell like seriously, really ever in a show. I did it last year, but it was really light. Like what I just did there for that last one's 45 pounds over what competition weight was for that. And I didn't need to do for that one I had to drop it each time because it was back and forth. Dumbbell, axle, dumbbell, axle. And I don't need to do it this way either for this show. The dumbbell is just one rep and move on. But my issue is it takes a lot of energy to drop the dumbbell, reset it, and not to mention because this dumbbell sucks because it's the Titan dumbbell. Every time I drop it, it bends, and that's what happened on going into that 5th rep. It was bent so bad I couldn't get it into position to where I could even press the bell, so I had to drop it. And I'm pretty sure I broke the weld when I dropped it. I don't know if it was after rep 3 or 4 or whatever it was, but I'll show you. It's shadows. Let me roll it around. There. That was not like that before. So, yeah, I don't know if it's going to survive another drop like that. But I don't really know what else to do. Just drop the microphone. So I don't really know what to do. I mean, I'm going to keep using it. I did drop the weight to about 170, I think. 172, whatever you want to call it. To at least get some work in. But I'm having trouble. I'm bringing it down, tapping, and coming back up. It's just because it's unfamiliar to me. I'm trying to find I can't seem to get a strong breathing brace when I come down and tap the floor and come back up like that. I don't know where exactly I need to breathe at. Like, my brain tells me as I'm bringing the dumbbell down, tap the shoulder down, up, breathe out, get it, rebreathe, then go. But it's just I don't feel, and it's making the clean way harder than it should be. So I need to get better at that. Basically, that's all I'm saying. I don't want to drop the dumbbell in between each rep and risk bending it more or breaking it, which at this point that might happen today. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, so dumbbell is done. I'm happy with how I recovered from that first set. Oh, bad, really bad. Um, well, I guess not bad, but not great. So I went for the second set. I dropped the weight down to 170. I said, whatever it was, 172, 170. And I was a little bit more methodical in like the resetting each rep and whatever. And that felt better. And I was like, that felt a little too easy. I think we can go back up. So I went back up to 185 and finished out the reps there. I was slower, but I wanted to make sure I got all 5. There's no reason for me to rush through those, just because I just need to get better at the press itself, in my opinion. Because I'm not repping out a dumbbell in the show. It's just one. So if I can do one correctly, efficiently, that's really all I care about. Oh, my beard's all over the place. Whatever. But I'm happy with that. I was a little bit. It takes a little bit more energy being that kind of methodical with it, like lowering it slowly to the ground. At least I think it did. Maybe not. I don't know. I was happy with it though. The 5th rep on every set was a little bit wonky. I think when I get a little bit tired that I don't use my legs as much, and that's quite literally the opposite of what I should be doing. You should put your legs into everything all the time. I'm watching a woodpecker and a cardinal fight right now. Pretty interesting. Where's David Attenborough when you need him? Anyway, yeah. So you should be using your legs all the time in a push press, push jerk, whatever. It is, dip and push that bar as high as you can. And I wasn't doing it that well whenever I got to that 5th rep. My own fault. Like it's probably just me being uncomfortable with the movement. It feels all right though. I'm not like, oh, that feels terrible. I'm just like, it's a little foreign, which is to be expected after not touching it for a while. Whoops. Either way, I'm happy with that. I've never done reps with anything above 170. And when I did reps with 170, that was back in 2021, I think. 2020. I think it was my second strongman show ever. Yeah, it was Strong-Ageddon 3 because I did 2 and then 3 the following year. So 2020, I think. So almost 4 years if all my numbers are lining up there, if I'm remembering correctly. So I've never repped above 170 on a dumbbell. And I did 4 reps that day. So technically, everything I did today was a PR. That's pretty cool. So that kind of tells you that, if you build strength all around, you're going to get stronger in most movements, generally speaking. Here and there. Like if you don't deadlift for 2 years, I wouldn't expect your deadlift max to go up. Depending on what level you're at. If you pull like 315 and then you just don't try to max out or do anything for a couple years, or don't deadlift for a couple years and get stronger at everything else, you might go up. But if you hit that 800-pound mark, it's probably not going to happen. But never say never, I guess. Anyway, on to the next press. I'm taking way too long tonight. So, got some actual strict press now. Same weight as last week, same sets, I believe. More reps, hopefully. 10 to 12 instead of 8 to 10. I hit 10 on every set last week, so you know what that means. Got to aim for 12. Oh, wow. Birds are going crazy out here tonight. Strict press is done. It's only 2 sets, but I was RP 9.5 probably on both sets. It's not very hot, but I'm sweating like crazy tonight. What else was I gonna say? I don't know. Either way, I'm pretty happy with that. Generally speaking, I do not press well out of the rack. I prefer cleaning the implement before pressing it. And I feel like it just sets my upper back better. I feel like I fall into position more than having to work to get into position, I guess is how I would describe it. But I'm happy with how that went. The program calls for like 240, but 2 plates on this bar is 248, so that's what we're doing. The pump, chest, front delt, and tricep from those, what I'm doing there, just those strict presses is crazy. There's so much blood in my arms. That's one of the main reasons those last couple reps were so hard. My hands are starting to go numb. It's also because I put the wraps on tight, which you're supposed to. They're supposed to stabilize, and in order to stabilize, they have to be tight. So otherwise, there's no point in wearing them. I don't know. I don't have much else to say about that other than I'm pretty happy with it. Got 12 on both sets. The second one almost felt better. I was resting from like, what was it, reps 7 through 12, which I try not to do usually on strict press, but maybe with axle straight bar it's better. I don't know. It's definitely harder. This is way harder than a log strict press. It's because I've done a log strict press 300 for, I think I've tried for 10 reps multiple times, and I don't think I've gotten it yet. I could be wrong, but I've done 300 for like 7. I've done 330 for 5, I think. I don't know. They're kind of whatever numbers because I'm not going to strict press in competition, really. I mean, I'm going to, push press. I move the most weight that way, so it makes sense to do it that way. And it's pretty funny. I've gotten comments recently on I think it's mostly my circus dumbbell video. They're like, "You're not actually lifting it. You're throwing and catching it with your legs." And I'm like, yeah, that's called technique. That's how you do it. If you're strict pressing a circus dumbbell, you're not doing it quite right. I mean, you could do that if you wanted to. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but yeah, go for it, I guess. There's like the bent press or whatever, but it's different. It's another technique leverage type of thing. And I was like, well, by their definition of, using your legs, then are not actually lifting the weight. Like no Olympic lifts would count because, it's, you're using the bar, you're pushing with your legs and hopping under it. There's no actual pressing in Olympic lifting. It has to be throw and catch. And I guess squat would be the same thing. You're using, you're bouncing out of the hole. That's called, momentum. You're not quite lifting it then. If you're using leg drive on bench, that doesn't count either because it's leg drive. You're not just using, chest, shoulders, triceps. So their logic doesn't make sense. They're just trying to nitpick. And it's just kind of funny. It's like, I mean, I don't really know what their point is. It's really just to try to get under your skin a little bit, but I just think it's funny. I like it. I wish more people would comment stuff like that because I like reading it. Anyway, I gotta move on. I've been out here way too long. I'm getting tired. What else do I have? Single arm lat pull downs, I know. We'll just do a little compilation again. I think I did this last week for my first press day, so let's just get into it. I was just going to record everything and move on, but I'm going to be more efficient and just record these 3 exercises and talk to you. That way I can close out the video because I have seriously been out here way too long. I took like a 15-20 minute break somewhere in there in between because my wife was out here with the pups playing around. I was talking to her, so that's fine. I think I needed it. I would never be like, don't interrupt me like that. If I'm in the middle of a big set and like it's dangerous, yeah, that's a little bit different. But if I'm just like in between sets, not the end of the world. I'm not training for World's Strongest Man or anything. So, and even then, like, if they need something, be there. So, what am I doing? Yeah, we'll do this first. I don't remember exactly. I know these 3 is what I'm supposed to be on. I think there's something else. Well, there's a couple other things, but I'm going to do this off camera just to get it done. Hopefully this doesn't fall over on me. And hopefully I can even do these because my triceps are pretty fried. Ooh, yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere. Famous last words. I think I need to weigh. Ooh, yeah, I absolutely need to weigh that down more. Ooh, this is definitely not quite level. The guy who moved the shed was like perfectly level. Had a level out and everything, checking it, and everything in here rolls that way. So I've had to prop up the deadlift platform. I propped up the front of this. I just need more weight back there anyway. Just it's smart that way. So, that side's coming. I'll throw another sandbag or something back there. Hope I'm still on camera right here. That doesn't look like much, but when you're already really pumped, let's grab another band for this next one. I've already put my shoulders through quite a bit tonight, so it is what it is. They're tired. They're very tired. So I don't know how well this exercise is going to go. Make sure I don't hit that. I think I miscounted, but that's okay. I really wanted to show the single arm lat pull downs because I remember not showing them last week. So that's how I do those. I really like them. Something else, I took my nose strip off before my second set of axle press. And I can feel it. I can tell. I cannot breathe at all out of my nose. I definitely think I have allergies because even with the nose strip, I'm still a little stuffy, but it's not nearly as bad as it is right now. I mean, there's nothing. So that just really, because I haven't trained without one in a long time. I think I forgot to wear one for deadlifts not too long ago, but I don't remember much from that, and I wasn't going super high reps, so it's I can definitely say for sure they work. It's not just a placebo type thing. Maybe I'll do this way. That way I don't drop that on the back of my head and hurt me. Oh, okay. That hurts in a good way. Ooh, I'm cramping up too. I was cramping up when I was doing the left side on the lat pull down too. That's something I wanted to talk about. My back and low back, they're not liking the dumbbell press, because when you dumbbell press, you kind of kick, in a way, you're kind of kicking your hip out to the side so the dumbbell is centered. And you're kind of contorting a little bit. And it just, my body isn't used to that. You know, I've been pressing straight on for so long that little bit of contortion, it's tweaking my back a little bit. Not in like a bad way. It's just, I'm working things that I haven't worked that way in a while. Which ultimately means I should be stronger. Oh. It's also getting dark out. I mean, you know, it's not like dark until like after 9 o'clock, but it's not far out. I've been out here for 3 hours. It's not, I can't be doing that. Not what I want, not ideal. There, I think I counted right. Whew, all right. I hope I'm still recording. I don't think I had much video left. Oh. So, plan, tomorrow off as usual. I say as usual, but it's only usual as of fairly recently. So, I'm going to stick with the rest day after the first day of the week. Deadlift Wednesday, Thursday, secondary press day, Friday off, Saturday 580 if I have nothing else going on. That's probably where I need to go. That's where I will be going for the OSG online qualifying events. A little bit more hype, a little bit help loading the weights. You pretty much you don't need a team for that, but it helps whenever you gotta, you know, unload. I don't know the specifics about weighing the stuff. Like some stuff can just be like shown on camera, weighed. Some stuff you got to take it off and weigh it. There's a whole bunch of rules to the online qualifier, you know, and I get it. I agree with those rules. But some people are those type of people that will fake weights or say it's 755 when it's 705 or something like that. So, but it helps to have a team to do all that, because when you're about to do like a max deadlift or a max effort movement, you don't want to have to think a whole lot. You just want to focus on lifting the weight. So whenever you have someone that's willing to help record, help weigh, help load, it just makes the whole process so much easier. And I think there's going to be like probably 5 of us all doing the qualifiers. I don't know when they're doing theirs or when I'm doing mine yet. So it just depends. Either way, I'm excited for that. I know it doesn't look like that right now. That's just because I'm tired and hungry. So I got nothing else to say, and I need to go inside. Unfortunately, I still have a little bit more to do, but I can speed through this pretty quick. So I'm going to stop yapping, stop the video, do what I do, and go inside and do what I like to do. Not that I don't like this, but I also like to, shower, eat some food, and go to bed. So go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.